In this lesson, we're going to talk about theming. This is a central location to set app-wide themes, such as colors, shadows, radiuses of elements, chart colors, etc. Let's take a look. So the concept of theming comes from ShadCn itself. And this is the foundation we also use at Radian. Okay. And if we go to themes, we have a UI down here where you can click blue and you've got your various blue accents and primary colors set. Green, default, orange, red, etc. and so forth. So we've taken this concept and done something similar in Radian. So if I go to settings and theme, I can create a theme. This is my base theme. Currently I'm on colors. So if I go down to primary and I change this to, for instance, the blue 600, you can see a representation on the right-hand side of what this accent looks like. Now, for a lot of people, this is basically where they stop. They set their primary color or their brand color, and they're good to go because everything else is quite harmonious by default. Okay, so if I had to save this and then go back to the canvas, you'll start to see this color be displayed in the UI. Here is a nav bar with the blue. Here is a button with the blue. Okay, we can also set our ghost buttons or our secondary buttons. But you'll start to see that this primary color is used in areas where accents make a lot of sense in terms of design context. I'm going to go back to settings, go back to my theme, and I'm just going to change this back to how it was before. Because when I am building, I prefer just to build without any design, and ShadCn looks so great already. The default designs look great. So I tend to play with theming a bit later on. Okay, let me show you a few other things that you can do though. So if you wanted to play with typography, you can do it here. Here are all the Google fonts. If you wanted to play with, for instance, border radius for card components and other types of components, you can drag with these. You can play with the shadow border, shadow spread, opacity. There's a lot of things for you to play with here. We also have dark mode, and it looks pretty good by default. Okay. What happens when you ask AI or if you manually change the color of a button? Well, now you're going to override the setting of that particular button. Okay. So if you want it to feel more harmonious, don't apply color changes or border or radius changes directly to a component unless you intentionally want that specific UI element to be a bit different. So just think about that. You're overriding the app design of this particular component if you're doing it directly within the editor. Feel free to explore with this. You can save your own designs and get really creative. But like I said, by default, it looks pretty great. I'll see you in the next lesson.